even though this is a huge S&P market cap stock that pays a dividend, I actually think we could be looking at a 15 to 20% rise in the very near future. To me, this is one that's on the watch list. This is one that we can make a lot of money on. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy, Hold, Sell. Hope, of course, you are all well. We're back at Wall Street here. We've got the green screen going again. Trying different things. The last few videos, I've just done it around the house, but the weather's turned horrible. Really dark and gloomy, and nobody wants to look out the windows at that. So I thought I'd bring back the green screen. I'm just going to keep playing about with things, whether you like the green screen or not, or the more natural effect, let me know in the comments, sure. But what we normally do here is we look at the week ahead, and we'll have a quick roundup of last week. Last week in the video, I said I didn't foresee this being the start of a huge crash. We have a lot of negative news out there. September historically is the worst month of the year, so we've got that playing against us. We also had a sell come on the S&P charts. That was working against this, and just the general negative sentiment. China's going through a horrible place at the moment, which we'll talk about briefly later on in the video. But with all that news, I still fancy this to still be bullish. I still fancy us to continue on a run. We're just got to kind of get through September. And that's what I want to talk about first, the indice, the S&P in its entirety. We can see here the week's performance, pretty flat. A lot of big players taking slight losses, but slight losses. Nvidia, the sort of semiconductors ones pulling back. But, you know, Google, Meta, still inching out a bit. It kind of just flat the whole week. And then some of the bigger players really flew. The likes of Tesla, a price upgrade. You know my thoughts on Tesla, very bullish. Big AI play. It's just the future. There's so much going on with that, and definitely we should get a Tesla video out very soon. But I did open up a small trade, put in the Discord, picked up, I can't even remember now, I think 78% or something. We jumped on a bit of a leverage trade on the back of the news, in and out, smash and grab kind of thing. The way I'm playing the market at the moment is I'm trying to consolidate and get rid of a lot of stocks that not that I don't necessarily want, but I remember how bad that was about a year ago when everything was rock bottom, everything was tanking hard. Your high growth, high stocks, as we know, don't perform very well. 2 years ago, I was prepared for that and went, nope, I like these stocks, the likes of Teladoc, the likes of Matterport. I was going, no, I'm prepared to hold these long, that's the game. However, unfortunately, when everything's rock bottom and you're looking at Tesla going dirt cheap, you're looking at Meta below $100 at one stage, you're going, I wish I was buying them and these high-risk growth stocks that may go bust. And we've seen a lot of stocks already go bust. I'm just not sure they're going to be able to take another pounding. So I'm trying to get rid of them, trying to play jiggery. It's working well. 24 down to about 13 stocks now. So I'm hopeful to get rid of another 4 or 5. Bring that portfolio down tight to my real long holes that we cover on this channel, maybe 1 or 2 others, and then I'm just sitting cash heavy, ready to pounce on the big boys when this crash comes. I foresee it happening in 2024. I think when the Fed pivots, all stuff we've talked about before. And if you're interested in this whole sort of wider market news, talking about all that type of thing, feel free to smash the subscribe button and like button while you're at that as well, please. We can actually see here the Dow sheds nearly 300 points from Friday. S&P 500 and NASDAQ suffer second straight week of losses. So September is living up to what it normally does. Painful, very painful. And on Friday, it just became a negative week. It was actually looking for a positive week. The Wall Street Journal, tech stocks weigh on major index. Adobe shares fall after earnings, while Meta, Microsoft, and Nvidia also lose ground. And we talked about that in last week's video. We talked about the fact that these big weighed stocks, especially the ones that are AI plays, a bit like the dot-com bubble, they seem to be getting an extra rally, and that's really dragging up the market. And understandably, they weigh so much of the market. The S&P 500 is not an individual split. It's very much based on market cap. So when you consider that Apple is sort of 10 to 13% weight, that's incredible. When there's 500 companies, one stock is over a tenth. You have to bear in mind, when those stocks go up, the market goes up. When they go down, the market goes down. So is the tech bubble going to burst? We talked about that in the video 2 weeks ago. Go and check it out if you wish. This was the close of last week. We were here, and I said, in my opinion, that we would bounce. This wasn't going to continue going down, and I was on the money. It actually went up. We seen about a 1.34% rise, and then the sell-off kind of came on Friday, which just notched it into a negative week. But realistically, the week was just stale. It was flat, and the reason it was flat is because everyone is waiting for this week, because on this week we have our interest rate hike decision. That is going to come on Wednesday. So what do you expect in the market weeks ahead? Well, as I said, the Fed and the Bank of England will have their policy meetings. But before we get into that, let's have a look at the asset classes. We can see not much of a change. Everything was just kind of flat. The real one that's jumped since last week, you will notice, is the oil and commodities. I think sugar is at a 12-year high as well, which is just insane. Let's have a look though at oil. First off, hedge funds hiked bullish oil bets to 12-month high on OPEC plus cuts. Net long positions rise to the highest level since June 2022. Brent both above $90, and we're going to put up the oil trade, because this is a trade that I put into the Discord. Put this in on the 5th, saying I opened up an oil trade, guys, on the Saudi news. And as you can see, it has become a buy from the buy symbol right up. If you're riding this, you get 14%. Now, I always leverage up oil because it doesn't usually move that much, but it has moved a lot. So let's have a look roughly here to here. It was about 9.38%. Now, I had actually went to 5 times leverage on this here. And then I put into the Discord that I sold it yesterday, closed out the oil trade. Still looks good to run, but happy collecting 56%. That was actually wrong. It was 46%. Sorry, guys. But still delighted with 46%. And if you look historically, even back before COVID, for all the craziness, these are sort of the prices that it would get up to, about $75 a barrel. We had a horizontal line. This was the sort of level here, roughly. You can see roughly here, roughly here. I was content with it. Wasn't greedy. Smash and grab. I'm content with that. Oil may push on. There's a lot of people saying it will. A lot of people saying gas will as well. I'm all right with it. There's plenty more fishing to see, and we'll get into a swing trade that I think is potentially playing out that could be really good. We will have the UK inflation gauge that will come out on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we will have the Bank of England interest rate decision, and then as you scroll down here you'll see the Fed policymakers going to chat about it. Jerome Powell will chat about it on Wednesday. Now, this is usually something that I always play. Depending on what way the markets go, quick look at the charts, usually there's quite a significant rise upwards or downwards. I like to try and jump on this with a bit of leverage. It usually always works out quite well. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to be in Scotland on Wednesday, and I'm going to a concert with my wife. I won't be able to play this one, but I am keen to maybe start doing a live stream. I've never done a live stream before, and the amount of editing work that goes into my videos, I dread to think what could come out on a live stream, but I'm tempted to do it. If you're interested in live streams, give us a shout down there and comment. Let me know if that would be something of interest. This is what the Fed's looking to do, hold interest rates. We've talked about it in many a video. They're going to continue rising rates. I think there will at least be one more rate hike in between now and the end of the year. There's a lot of media out there, a lot of YouTubers and stuff that were saying, oh, the pivot will come, the Fed don't know what they're doing. I was one of them, and I have no problem holding my hands up to say it was wrong. I thought there would be a pivot this year. I really did. With us 3/4 of the year now through, with a rate hike likely still to come, with a pause here, it's looking like there probably won't be a pivot this year, which, you know, you've got to say, with all the media and all the nonsense out there, people saying, oh, this is what the Fed are going to do, and the Fed don't know. They've done what they said they're going to do, and I'm taking a lot of notice of this. I don't think there's any real wrong or right in this scenario. Everyone's guessing, everyone's kind of making their own assumptions. I just wanted to say, clear as day, I feel like this is something that I was thinking was going to happen, and it hasn't. So, lesson learned. Bit closer to home then, highest rate since 2008, going up to 5.5. One hell of a gaping in the UK. I want to talk about China now. I talked about it briefly at the end of last week's video. $188 billion. Exodus shows China's heft fading in world markets. China is a mess. It really, really is. It's trying to be independent. It's trying to deal with all its imports and exports. Obviously, its whole management of that scenario came under scrutiny and has caused issues with delays. And then you've got the whole Evergrande thing. There's just so much with China, and it affects global markets. What this sort of report is trying to say is it won't affect the world markets. I just don't see how that's possible. Everyone in their household has 80% of their products made from China. Everything it says made on China. How in the bloody blue hell, if a Chinese economy goes down with all, how that's all intertwined into other economies, how that won't have a negative effect is beyond me. It just makes perfect economical sense. See here, the selling pressure has actually pushed the currency down to a 16-year low versus the dollar. And a lot of outside investors are pulling their money which is just, I mean, everyone kind of thought that even emerging markets 2 years ago, the emerging markets, that's going to be where the money goes, and it just doesn't look to be playing out that way. Now, at the start of this video, I talked about a huge market cap company and a big, huge S&P player that actually pays a dividend, and I believe it could be one to definitely add to your watch list. One that I have on my portfolio, and it's one that I've been investing in for my kids. You may have guessed it just from that. It is the stock Disney, ticker symbol DIS. Let's just pull it up. If you bought this 5 years ago, you'd be down 22.5% on Disney. We're actually below COVID lows. So if I actually turn on my falling wedge indicator here, this is a falling wedge. When a falling wedge happens, well, actually this whole thing just tells you it's a target. Would it be as high as that? I don't know. I'm not looking to try and get that, because that would be one hell of a rise. 133%. Now, if we turn on our trading strategy, and again, all of this you get access to in the trading course, and thanks, shout out to whoever said to me about the trading course. Actually, for whatever reason, USA people couldn't buy it. I don't know. There was a setting that wasn't set. I've turned it on. You can now access the course. You're getting it for about, I think, 120 bucks, about £100. Best money you'll ever spend, hands down. If you're not happy, give you a refund. This has pushed 7% since it's become a buy. Look at the MACD RSI, plenty of room, bit of volume coming in. If you actually turn on the volume indicator, look at this. Look at all this buying pressure. People are looking at this going, I'm looking and I'm liking. And you can see here some news. Disney's chief information officer departs. Disney pushes back on ABC sale report, says company has made no decision yet. Disney has responded to the reports claiming the company is in early talks to sell its ABC network and TV stations, saying the company has made no decision yet. $10 billion. Could you imagine if Disney gets its hands on $10 billion? Now, yes, it is selling an asset, but that asset is bringing in about $1 billion a year. If they can just go, right, there's that off the books, all of that, because that's kind of been what the issue's been with Disney. It's almost trying to do too much that it can't even focus on what the legacy stuff is, the hotels, the cruise ships, obviously the Disney parks. Well, if they get 10 billion, this stock's going to pop. Now, let's look at this from a technical analysis point of view. You've got the falling wedge. If it breaks out, it's going to push. You can see here, buy. So what am I looking for before I go balls deep? Now, I've topped up in my daughter's account. I haven't touched that in years. I just buy when the time is right. I just buy. I've already bought and topped in. I've been buying the whole way down. I've been buying when it got down to these levels, and I've been buying again last week. I'm looking for, from the point of view of a trade, I'm looking for this to get above the 9-day moving average and the 50-day moving average. We're already kind of there, but I'm just looking for it to push on a bit more. Once it gets above this, I'm going to open a position, some of a position. If we can get above the 200-day moving average, which means we're gone bullish, we're in a bull market on Disney, that is when I'm going to go in bail. I've got nothing left. Left the bull run back in July 21, so well over a year ago. And the last time we got into a bull run properly was here, and as you can see from the lows to the highs, it pushed 62% from the 11th of August to March. Generally speaking, where have we always been? We've always been above this white line. So when you zoom right in and you go to the day chart, this feels like it could be a real good winner, and I'm not looking huge money on it. If we can get above, say, from this level, sort of around maybe about here, I'd take a 34%, but I'm going to go at least 2 times leveraged on this. So I'm going to be looking to get at least 50% out of this trade. Why go all balls deep in high growth, highly speculative plays? People are talking about, oh, Neos are steal at this price. With all the China stuff that's going on that I've just talked about, with the risk with the USA and China tensions, America historically don't favor Chinese stocks. Look at Alibaba, have a chat about that. Brutal. Stay away from all that. Focus on these types of stocks. The staples, Disney is not going away. You telling me Disney's going to go bust? Not a chance in blue hell. Whether that deal goes through or not, I think technically speaking, if we can get above that 50-day moving average, this is going to rally hard. So I would be definitely adding this to your watch list. And a little trick that you can do on TradingView, and again, all of this is in the course if you have no clue, is you just right click, this then comes up, and then part of my trading strategy, crossing the value SMA to once per bar close. So once the bar is closed and we are above the SMA2, which is my 50, once we're above that bar close, I get an alert notification to say we're there, and then that's when I go buy. What's your thoughts on Disney? Please leave your comments down below. What's your thoughts on the week ahead? Are we heading for a stock market crash? Is the rally going to continue right through to the end of the year? What's your thoughts on the Fed? Anything at all, leave your comments down below. If you can, please like and subscribe. Help me grow the channel. A lot of effort goes into this year creating these videos, so I really appreciate everybody that helps with comments and likes. So thanks again for everyone. If you're interested in trading course, Discord links, they're all down below. I will catch you in the next video. We've already recorded ABML's video yesterday. It'll be coming out sort of on Tuesday night, I think. That's coming. If you're interested in ABML, stay tuned for that. See you in the next one.